All right, let's talk Florida State, Notre Dame. Good week of preparation. We certainly had our kids' attention this week. We got an opportunity to, try to simulate as much as we could with crowd noise, but we certainly don't want to hear that war chant anymore. We played it enough this week, so hopefully we'll not hear it as much as we heard it this week. So we try to simulate as much as we could. We had a good week of preparation. Now we got to go and obviously play well, execute against a very good football team. Liked our guys' focus and preparation. They're excited about the challenge and the opportunity, and this is why they've come to Notre Dame, is to play these kinds of games that have relevance and are on the national stage. So as you can imagine, they've been locked in and focused and excited all week, just as our coaches are as well. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
You mentioned on Tuesday wanting to practice on grass. How much were you able to do so?
Quite a bit. We didn't get out on Tuesday because of the weather, but we were there quite a bit on Wednesday, and then virtually the whole practice today. We got a chance to, run our 2-minute red zone, quite a bit of our offense and defense, special teams. So I think everybody's, very acclimated to, the grass conditions.
Right, you mentioned good week of practice, and I would assume this was pretty much set up for that with the focus for the kids. What, as a veteran coach, what kind of the look of a bad week of practice? Not a week, but maybe the beginning of it, and how do you get out of that?
I think what it looks like to me is speed. Speed always picks up when there is a sense of I have to be on my game. The speed always picks up, and that was clear to me, this week that there was a step quicker in everything that you had to do today. And when we went against our defense, which we did quite a few times, to simulate, some of the speed that we're going to see, we played pretty fast. So again, we do go ones versus ones every week, but you could see that. And you got to keep in mind, they got a bye week coming up too, so there's that excitement as well, where our guys are really like, hey, let's go. We got a week off. And certainly we've been playing that card as well.
Brian, when you face a guy the caliber of Winston, what do you do with the scout team quarterback? Do you go with Montgomery, or do you?
No, we had Deshaun Kaiser down there this week, so he got all the reps. He was Winston this week.
And how did he perform as Winston?
I think everybody was very pleased with what he was able to do. We also put some of our freshman receivers down there that had been up with us to give them even more what we consider, that kind of speed. Justin Brent was down there, Corey Holmes was down there, and I thought, that our defense, was very pleased. Our staff was, in terms of the kind of looks that they were getting. Again, it is what it is. I mean, everything's scripted for success, but we got the kind of look that we want. The ball's in the air. You got to play the ball. Those kinds of things.
Brian, what's Luatua's status?
He's day-to-day right now. He had a concussion, so he went through the concussion protocol and was not cleared last week, did not play, and is still showing lingering signs. So our medical staff has not cleared him for contact. He has been involved in our practices, and they have not cleared him yet. So right now, he has not been cleared for contact.
Did it happen in the Stanford game?
No, it was a practice, yeah.
Brian, what do you expect the excitement level, the vibe, the atmosphere to be like when you guys get in there on Saturday night?
Well, I think it's going to be what we've expected at, other venues that we've played at. Some of our veterans, I know they are expecting that. I don't think our freshmen know what to expect, which is fine. But again, I think it's what college football and the pageantry and the excitement's about. It's going to be like what other teams experience when they come into a night game here at Notre Dame Stadium. When we played Michigan, I think it's going to be a similar electric atmosphere.
You mentioned this is why the players come to Notre Dame. Does that hold true for the coaches as well, that you guys enjoy this stage, this moment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This, these games obviously get everybody's attention and challenge you, and we like to be challenged as well. We have opportunities to measure ourselves as well. We want to play the very best as well, and so I think everybody's challenged that way.
Brian, just the crowd noise, the logistics of that, how significant is that for Everett? And is it significant for you in any way, trying to communicate things?
No, I don't think so. We went all nonverbal all week. We'll huddle a little bit. We've had similar situations at Michigan. I think Michigan was probably the loudest venue that we've played in a couple of years ago. I mean, we may have a couple of snap infractions, a little nervousness, but we'll settle into the game and we'll be fine.
Brian, besides Luatua, anybody else?
I don't think so. We don't have anybody else, do we? No, nobody else, other than Collinsworth.
Yeah, when you mentioned Collinsworth, if that's the 6 weeks rather than the 4 weeks, I mean, is there a chance you just say, let's punt and try for a 6th year rather than try to bring him back for?
He's going to travel with us. He's in his graduate program right now. I think all those discussions are right now about what he wants to do. We're going to accommodate whatever he wants to do at this point. He means a lot to us. He's a great captain, but I think all of those things are on the table because he has been interrupted twice, so he does fit that criteria. But we're not going to assume anything, and I don't think he's ready to make any of those decisions right now. I think he's kind of feeling like he's that guy that keeps getting injured, and so I think we're just going to wait another week or so. He's going to take the bye week, talk to his family, spend some time to think about it, and then I think he'll be ready to make a decision as to what he wants to do.
Brian, just a couple personnel for the bye week coming up. A couple of the guys that haven't played as much. The sophomore offensive lineman, except for Elmer, just kind of update on some of those, like Montelis and McGovern and McGlinchey, some of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good players for us. McGlinchey's right there. I mean, it's, you got to make a decision to sit down a senior. That's a big decision. We like Christian a lot. He's been very valuable to our program. McGlinchey's pushing him. That's a battle over there. So, that's one of them. John is not in the 2 deep right now. We've had discussions with him about that. He's working hard on his game, and we have a lot of confidence that he's going to be a guy that contributes here for us. We like McGovern. He's a very good technician, and if there were injuries, we would not have any reservations about putting him in the game, but we feel like there are guys in front of him at this point.
Coach, could you talk about just the defense going at Jameis Winston? I imagine you have to ride that line of being patient, but at the same time pick your spots to go be aggressive.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a well-coached team. Jimbo Fisher knows what he's doing. I mean, he's the offensive coordinator and the head coach, and they know how to protect their offense. I mean, they're not going to let you just line up and, blitz them and, have at them. They know how to protect their offense. So, they got 2 guys on the perimeter that can flat out fly. So if you want to get locked up one-on-one and you think that that's just okay, go blitz them. So you have to be smart. You have to be able to pick your spots. And I think what you really have to do, like every other good football team that plays good defense, got to do a good job against the run. And I think if we can do a good job against the run, especially on first down, then we can dictate some things. If they're dictating to you, it's going to be a long day. you know? We're gonna have to score a ton of points. That's kind of the deal.
It seems like Coach Fisher knows Coach Van Gorder quite a bit, just from his experience in the SEC, maybe the NFL. Has he been a different coach, though, with Notre Dame, that maybe they don't know everything that he's doing?
Oh, he's been out of the SEC for a while, you know, so, you know, I think Brian's experiences in the NFL have built his, you know, philosophy, you know, to the point where I think we all, you know, I don't want to say we change, but we all change with the times, and I think we all adapt to things. And Brian's adapting here at Notre Dame as well, too, to his personnel. So we know what we're facing, and Brian knows that, you know, we can't walk in there and say, hey, you know, we're going to blitz them. We've got 87 different blitzes. We'll get crushed if that's what we do. So we've got to mix it up. We've got to be smart. We've got to be really good against the run, and especially on first down. If we do a good job there and we keep them off balance, we got to score on offense, play really good special teams, we can win the game.
And Saturday, team, we have a schedule that's pretty set, or can the guys just relax and maybe watch a little football?
Yeah, we have a schedule that we've stayed with for as long as I've been here. We'll get up in the morning. We'll have some meetings. We're going to go to Florida A&M and have a workout over at Florida A&M, and then come back around lunch. And then they've got a couple hours in the afternoon to kind of relax a little bit.
During his conference call this afternoon, Lou Holtz talked about Everett Golson last.
Lou has his own conference calls during the day. I am not having any conference calls when I'm his age. I can guarantee you that right now, so you won't have to worry. I know you won't be waiting for him, but...
Phone in.
Thank you.
But he was mentioning, you mentioned that last week Golson may have been maybe overly excited playing against a defense that was considered extremely weak and where you can put up big numbers, and that likely your approach this week is don't worry about the big plays, take care, don't just avoid the bad ones. That's pretty much.
Yeah, I think that the conventional wisdom there is, I think Everett has, I think Everett's at that point where he's tired of being the center of the question. You know, he's tired of answering the question about turnovers. And I've seen him single-handedly take on that approach of I'm going to eradicate this. So I think that is probably the biggest thing, in that he's going to be who he is, and we want Everett to be who he is, but he knows he has to do a better job of taking care of the football. I think that's probably the overriding thing here, more so than North Carolina versus Florida State. Everett's going to be who he is. We're going to be aggressive with Everett. He's got to do a better job of taking care of the football, and he is, I think, taking the initiative this week to make sure that happens.
Down in Oklahoma 2 years ago, I remember you saying that Manti asked permission to talk to Everett separately before the game to kind of just have him.
That's true.
Do you feel you need to have something like that with him now?
Oh, no, we're not at that point. He's the leader on offense. He's the guy. We're sinking and swimming with what Everett does on offense. If he throws 3 or 4 interceptions and turns the ball over, you know, they're going to be singing that war chant song. It's not going to be fun. But I don't expect that to happen. I expect him to play very, very well. I watched him this week. I watched how attentive he was, and his progressions and what he's working on, and his footwork in the pocket, and I expect him to play very, very well.
Carney, any update on Isla Hardy?
Any update? Yes, I met with Eiler. We have some work to do in terms of some of his academic work he's working on right now, in terms of, you know, trying to get that organized. But if we're able to get some of those things organized, we're going to bring him back to practice after we get back from the bye. We have some things to work on. He's working on right now, some of his classes and things of that nature. But I've invited him back on the roster to practice, and then we'll take it from there.
And you had heard from DeVars when we talked to you on Tuesday. Have you talked to him at all?
I have not.
Brian, to be clear then, is Eiler the only one that has a chance to play this year?
Eiler is the only one that I have talked to that would be back on the roster.